you cry no more.
Hello. SweetFit Tee checking in. Boss Gags, Lido. Whoa, oh. Sorry, a little tone deaf there. Good morning, ladies. It's SweetFit Tee checking in. Checking in from nowhere land. Finished Charlie Mike, sort of, kind of. Didn't really end up doing that very last endurance testing week, which at that point my son was like, well, Mom, we should just do the whole thing over again. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, at least he wants to download the app on his phone, and that way he can do it like when we're not when we're not around. Because I asked him, I said, well, what's the weight room look like in your dad's apartment complex? And he's like, it's creepy. I'm like, well, what does that mean, it's creepy? We are talking about a 13-year-old teenage boy here. It's creepy. I said, why don't you go look at it again, and maybe it won't be so creepy this time. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? He just didn't know what he was doing. And he's like, well, I think that they remodeled it or something like that. So I'm like, well, just check it out when you're there this weekend. So I'm expecting to get a text on how do I download Charlie Mike. So, but other than that, I started the Run Everything Labs, the Dana Lynn Bailey. It's called the high intensity 5-day split, and it's just like full of supersets and giant sets, and just like high pumping, not a lot of rest in between, getting a lot of volume of blood in there. So it's not like really lifting heavy duty weight, because you're doing a lot of reps. So and a lot of times, and then you're kind of like a superset is where you kind of go down from those reps. You put your weight lower. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of that stuff, because I'm not a trainer. And do quote me on that. I am not a trainer. I keep forgetting I can go down the street down there because construction's done. And now I'm just like used to cutting through the neighborhood. And it's like, I don't know which way is actually quicker. I'm not sure. I should look it up someday on maps, right? Anyway, squirrel, totally get off on the subject. So yesterday was first day, leg day, and I'm so glad I started with legs, because I just was like totally into it and just fully pumped up, because I haven't lifted in over 6 weeks, because the Charlie Mike was 6 weeks, and not to mention I didn't do, I kept having to like redo days on Charlie Mike, so I'm sure it was and then these last 2 weeks I haven't really worked out, well, the last week really. So I had my 4-year-old's birthday party, which totally went off like a hit. He had a zombie face Gene Simmons, and it was so cool because like the tongue was sticking out, and she had like a bite coming out of the tongue, and then like when I cut it open, his head bled. So, and then my mother-in-law said that was very inappropriate birthday cake for a 4-year-old. And I was like, he wanted a Halloween birthday. She came dressed up as Mayor Goodwin in Paw Patrol. You can't like half-ass your shit, you have to either like be fully on in and all about it, or like don't even try to like, be about it a little bit. Like, you know, he's 4. He wanted a dress-up costume party, Halloween party. He was dressed up like Frankenstein. My kid freaking loves kids. He loves zombies. I mean, okay, so it never did it occur to me that, you know, that first of all, the cake, like, completely, totally exceeded my expectations. You know, it's like my god cousin here. It's like, you know, kind of like family or whatever. And I paid for the cake. I mean, I paid a lot more for a cake than you normally would for a 4-year-old's birthday party. Let me just say that. And so I was already having buyer's remorse. But when she showed up with the cake, it was just so insanely cool. Like, his eyeball was, like, hanging out. Like, it was just fucking awesome. And nobody said anything. None of the kids were, like, crying. And then my girlfriend's like, well, Devo didn't want to see the blood, but she's like, he just walked away. Like, her kid, he's, I think he's 9. He's 8 or 9. And, you know, but he knew what he was doing, and he knew what he didn't want to see. And so, you know, but he was curious, and all the kids really liked the cake. They were touching it, looking at it. It was really cool. And I'll have to put a picture of it on my SweetFit Tee account, because it was fucking badass. So anyways, you know, it just never occurred to me, because we were just kind of like planning this zombie scary party, you know, like my balloons had like bloody handprints on them, and we're all filling up the helium, you know, and she's just like, but I mean, that's what he wanted, and it's not like he's in kindergarten and I, you know, invited the whole kindergarten class. I mean, yes, when I was a kid, it was weird to like zombies, but it's not weird anymore. And it's not like I'm pushing it on him. It's not like I'm all like zombies, like Halloween. He just does. I mean, I'm not steering him away, but I mean, hello. I've got Frankenstein and, you know, the Bride of Frankenstein. I mean, my house is full of monster art, and the music I listen to sings about monsters and zombies. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be into it when he's older, but right now when he's 4, he's into it. It's not doing anything. Kid's totally sincere. It's not a bad kid. He would never harm anybody or wish any harm on anyone. He's very, very sensitive, if you ask me. So, well, you know, I tell him, because he sometimes goes crazy. We call it monkey hour, because he's just like right before bed, trying to stay awake, and it's just like he's totally trying to stay awake, and he's like super tired. So my husband says, you know, they wanted to give him Ritalin when he was young like that, and I said, this is his Ritalin. This 3 fingers and a thigh, boom. You know, just gotta knock him out of it. And I get it good. I'm like, gotta wet those fingers sometimes. It's like flicking a towel, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta whip them out of it for a second. Excuse me. On my way to work, working till 3. All I had prepared was some protein and a pear. I will eat the whole thing except for this little nub right here and the seed. But I will eat the entire pear. I love it to the core. So anyway, today is definitely just ramblings with SweetFit Tee. So I also wanted to talk about the fact that so I started this 5-day split, and my friend Melissa gave me a really good idea to add in, because they did a 28-day Run Everything Labs. Her and her husband did a 28-day workout as well. And so she was like, you know, maybe kind of incorporate that into our workouts as well, into the week. And so I was like, yes, because I started this thing with the help of Melissa. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Renaissance periodization, and it's just basically like timing your meals around your workouts, and then grading the workouts from light, medium, hard to like no workout days. And it's these templates that literally they just tell you what time of the day, what to eat, how much of it to eat, and how many hours, like the next, time that you have to eat. So you can literally plan out your entire day. So, I don't know. I'm going to get going because my freaking phone is like stopping or looking weird. So, anyways, everybody, happy Friday. Ciao.